The woods around Fairfield, Maine, grow eerily quiet in the fall. The air chills, leaves turn red and gold, then fall, crunching underfoot. If you walk deep enough, you might feel eyes on you. Some say you are being watched by something that lost a part of itself long ago. The old folks whisper a name, Silas. Silas the giant Thorne. They say he never left his land, he just changed. The legend is old, 2 centuries deep, and it clings to the town like fog. Parents warn their children, don't go into the woods alone, don't stray from the path. If you hear an axe chopping when no one's around, run. The story always starts with Silas and his land. He loved every tree, every stream, every trail. He worked, lived, and died there, or at least most of him did. That's the part that makes your skin crawl. They say he's still out there searching for what he lost. He doesn't like strangers on his property. He never did. The legend has roots as deep as the oldest trees. In Fairfield, the story of Silas is more than a warning, it's a promise. Something big, angry, and incomplete still walks those woods. Silas Thorne was a giant, nearly 7 feet tall, strong as legend. His axe, a gift from his late wife Eleanor, was his most prized possession. His axe had an engraving of the words, "My strength, my love," gifted by his late wife Eleanor shortly before her death after their daughter was born. Silas lived alone in a cabin, preferring trees to people. The townsfolk respected him, but kept their distance. He guarded his land fiercely, scaring off trespassers with a silent stare. His woods were his sanctuary, filled with memories of Eleanor. He worked from sunup to sundown, the sound of his axe echoing through the forest. All he wanted was to be left alone, with his land and his memories. But he made a promise. He would protect his land even after death, and some say he kept it. In 1825, a monstrous storm struck Fairfield. The sky turned purple, the wind howled, and the town hid indoors. Silas, unafraid, went into the woods with his axe. No one knows why, maybe to save his cabin, maybe just because he feared nothing. Lightning flashed, rain lashed, and Silas vanished into the chaos. When the storm passed, silence fell over the woods. Days went by, no sign of Silas. A search party found only his right arm, clutching the axe, near the old barn with the cupola. The rest of him was gone, erased by the storm. The axe still bore his name and Eleanor's heart. The woods were never the same. The silence was heavier than the storm, and the legend of Silas the giant truly began. Fairfield buried Silas's arm, but not their fear. The woods felt wrong, haunted. Stories spread. A hunter glimpsed a giant shadow with one arm, then fled. Others felt watched, heard heavy footsteps, sensed a presence. Silas had become a ghost, huge, powerful, but broken. He roams his land, searching for his missing arm. He is a one-armed specter, patrolling the borders of his property. His anger is for trespassers. In life, a stare was enough. In death, he is not so gentle. His spirit is tied to the land and the violence of his end. He cannot rest, cannot leave, only wander, wait, and watch. The woods are his, and he protects them fiercely. Anyone who enters feels the coldness of his grave. His grief and rage haunt every shadow. Silas is a warning. Some spirits never let go. Step into Silas's woods and you'll know when you've crossed the line. The first sign is a sudden, unnatural cold. Even on a warm day, the air turns icy. Silas is warning to turn back. Ignore it, and you'll hear an owl's call. Too loud, too close, twisted with pain. It's Silas, mimicking the forest he once loved. The call follows you, always just behind. That's his second warning. The final warning is deadly. A branch cracks and crashes down, missing you by inches. It's not the wind, it's Silas, using ghostly strength to drive you out. Some have been hurt, a few never returned. Survivors speak of paralyzing fear, a giant shadow with one arm, and the sense of being watched. The woods belong to Silas, and he defends them with supernatural fury. His anger and loss trap him there, lashing out at intruders. Ignore the warnings, and you risk joining the legend. In Silas's woods, the past is never truly gone. For 2 centuries, Silas's ghost has haunted these woods. But this week, Halloween 2025, marks the 200th anniversary of his disappearance. The legend says, if you want to set Silas free, you must return his lost axe before the last leaf falls. But the axe isn't hidden in an attic or lost to time. The locals left clues, carvings on trees, cryptic signs, and whispered directions. Follow the trail, and you'll find the old stump, where Silas's axe still waits, embedded in the wood. The stump stands near the barn with the cupola, the place where his arm was found. On this haunted anniversary, Silas's power is at its peak. The woods are colder, the shadows deeper, but it's also your best chance to end the curse and let his spirit rest. The challenge is clear. Find the clues, brave the haunted woods, and return the axe to the stump before Halloween ends. Can you face the cold, the ghostly warnings, and Silas himself? Will you help a giant soul finally rest, or will you become part of the legend of Silas the Giant?